Just keep taking pictures. Hi, my name is Greg Tardif. I've had the Sony A7C full frame camera for about 7 months now, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts on it because I've had it long enough where I can really formulate an opinion about it. I've shared a few videos on this channel of what I've been capable of making with this camera, which, you know, as a novice amateur, somebody who doesn't do photo and video for a living, you know, just kind of having at it and trying to figure it out as I go along, using and asking a lot of questions from a lot of people that do know what's going on. You know, I got the kit. I traded in a Panasonic Lumix GH5 in April. All the lenses and shit that I had. Was able to walk out the door with the kit for, I think I got $20 back. So I didn't actually have to pay out of pocket for any of this, which is pretty cool. The kit lens is a 28-60 f4 to 5.6, and for a kit lens, it's a really good one. You get nice background separation because it's a full frame. f4 feels like an f2.8 to me, coming from the micro four thirds world, and you know, you can get some really good depth of field that way. But I'll say this, you do kind of have to crank the ISO on this if you are in a low light situation, which isn't such a huge deal because with it being a full frame, you really get you really start getting noise breakup at like 3200 ISO, and at that point just turn a light on, you know, just turn a light on. As far as compactness of this camera, it's not big. You know, looking at details, it's about the same size as like an A6600, just a little bit chunkier in the sides here, and it's probably a little bit heavier. I don't know, I haven't tried a A6600, but from the details that I've seen, it's about the same size. And having this compact kit lens on it has been kind of cool because, yeah, you can extend it and it sticks out a little bit. It kind of looks like I have this adapter plate on it. It looks like Mario is just gonna pop out of there at some point. Not today, Mario, not today. You know, so keeping it compact is one of the goals that I have with it. I don't use a strap or anything like that. I have a Peak Design capture clip system that I use, so I can kind of just put it on my belt, and I think it makes it for a quick draw, take a photo, because I do use it for family portraits for my family, family videos, you know, just all that kind of stuff. And then I make silly wet shaving videos on a different channel using primarily this camera, which has been just wunderbar to play with because I like to try like S-Log 3, and then I tried HLG once, and I wasn't like a super fan of HLG, which is a hybrid log gamma. It just gives a little bit of extra dynamic range, but being in a basement, having control over the lighting, I don't know that you need the additional range, especially for this. I like having the physical buttons on the top and on the back. I think it's just enough for me to like make mistakes and mess with stuff. I do like the memory settings. You have the 3 memory settings right here, 1, 2, 3, that you can queue that up. I have that set for various video formats. So number 1 is going to be my 24 frames per second, 1/50, whatever picture profile I'm shooting in that day. And then number 2 is usually my slow and quick at the 1 frames per second, so I can do time lapses and stupid stuff like that. And then number 3 is usually going to be at 60 frames per second in 1080p for some slow-mo shots, product features, and that kind of stuff. Anyways, overall, been really happy with it. There are things that I miss from the GH5 that aren't on this, but it's negligible for that. Battery life on this thing is bonkers. I think for what I get, I can shoot multiple, maybe like an hour, 2 hours of video without having to recharge it. Picture-wise, I can take a ton of pictures and not worry about it. I can leave it on and then it goes to sleep in a couple minutes, so that actually reserves the battery. I actually left it on one day overnight, came back the next day, it was still on, it was in sleep mode, fired it up, it was at 93% battery from 100, so that's pretty good. 7% drop in 14 hours. I'd say that's pretty darn good. I don't use the viewfinder here very often. I'm typically using the back panel here, which is good. I like that I can pitch it and turn it around and see my mug. You know, a lot of people have kind of talked some poo-poo about what you can do on the screen for touch purposes wise. And then that's actually something that I like about this over the GH5, because the GH5 has full touch capabilities on the background with menus and stuff. With this, I'm not accidentally touching stuff while I'm trying to either flip it around or like just kind of grab it and straighten out the camera if it's on a tripod. You know, I think using the way that it's set up here works good for me. The menu system is a little bit different than what it is on like a Panasonic, but you get used to where everything is, and I think it makes for a very well organized machine once you figure out, you know, where the stuff is. I have a custom menu on here that I use just for like formatting. If I'm using manual focus, I can set the peaking settings and stuff like that. So it's just the things that I need quickly that I can't assign to a custom button, I put in that menu, and it seems to be pretty good for me. As far as memory, it takes an SD card. This has 128 gigs, and this one is formatted for 170 megabytes per second upload. Read and write, I suppose. You don't need it that fast. I think the benefit of having it that fast is when you're putting it onto your device, your computer or your iPad like me. But because I think the maximum write speed on here is like 100 megabits per second. I have had a few files that went corrupted, but not enough for that to really deter me from feeling less than like excited about using it, you know, or like, hey, I just took this really cool picture. I really hope it wrote to the memory card. It doesn't happen that frequently, maybe a couple times over 7 months. I'd take that. Sometimes you throw popcorn in your mouth and you keep trying it, but you miss 92% of the time, you know, but you keep going. This, see, complete opposite. Just keep taking pictures. It's really easy to take pictures. The autofocus on this thing is really good. I've actually dialed it back a little bit because it's so fast and responsive, and I think that has made it less jarring on the eyes for people when they're watching videos using this. And then also, you know, I have a few other lenses that I'll probably make another video about talking about, but overall, very happy with the Sony A7C. I have a cam skin on this, a wrap. I am not very good at putting those things on, and so it looks like garbage on mine. I think if I took more time to do it, it would look a little bit better, but I'm kind of embarrassed by the wrap on this at this point because I've taken a lot of pieces off just because they were kind of like flipping out and stuff. But overall, you know, I just think it's a pretty cool camera and I'm excited to have it. I like the form factor, I like the size of it, and I like that I can fit it into a fanny pack if I need to. But as I said, I use the capture clip and I think that's pretty neat. I am going to be making some more videos about the Sony A7C and not just like showing you what I'm coming up with and having fun with. So if you feel like getting more information on that and probably, you know, finding out my workflow for using this, the settings, all that kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe. If you don't and you didn't like this movie or video, go on and live your life and I'll live mine. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I appreciate you watching if you made it this far, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.